Nail Or Beauty School was just the beginning, right? What on earth do you do now? Welcome to the Salon Success Podcast with Monaco Nail Academy. Our topics stretch beyond nails and into all things salon related, business, marketing, and social media, and at very least hits you with real life, honest stories about our experiences. This isn't school, this is real life, real business, and really freaking hard work. The Salon Success Podcast is recorded live on Mondays at 5 p.m. New Zealand time via facebook.com/Monaco Nail Academy and available on Spotify and Google playlists. Before we get started, wherever you are, thumbs up, tag a friend in the comments, or hit that share button and support small business. We are here today with, oh, that's weird, with Toni.
Hi.
From TLC Nails, and Rochelle from Aphrodite Iris. Welcome.
Hi.
So today we are going to have a little discussion about how we can upsell in our businesses. So we're talking about salons, obviously, not just nail salons. So this is a bit of a module from our How to Set Your Prices
Online training
that Penny has come up with, and it's just absolutely brilliant. And yeah, I love it. Like, it just, like, I find that sometimes you're like an artist and a creator, or you're good at numbers, and sometimes you aren't good at both. And so, yeah, I think that How to Set Your Prices just takes all that thinking work out of the numbers side of thing, and it's just set my mind at ease. Anyway, so we're just talking about some tips on how we would upsell in our business. So I will give you some subheadings. The first thing we're going to talk about is the importance of setting a goal. So we're going to talk about setting goals. So ladies, do either of you have any goals in your business? We've talked about goals before, like a few weeks ago. Do you have any goals in your business when it comes to selling your retail stock or upselling an appointment? So you will have your price lists, right?
Yeah.
So upselling would be like added nail art, added services, upgrading to luxury, or selling product from your shelf. Do you have goals related to that?
I personally don't.
No, me neither.
Mainly because a lot, like 98% of my clients are regulars, and they already get what they get, and they come in and they refill their cuticle oil when it's empty. Like, they're already in their routine, they already get their art and all that, and I don't really have much more to sell them, apart from like if they had a friend who was like having a birthday and they needed a present, like little stocking filler kind of present things.
Yeah.
That's where I kind of upsell. But apart from that, a lot of my clients already get everything.
Would you like your appointments would you like to be getting more money out of each appointment? Do you have time either side? Like, do you have time for somebody to just like whack on some random nail art that they wouldn't usually get?
Not always.
Yeah, that's
usually
the kind of
I
thing
only
that
have
stresses me
like
out.
15 minutes between appointments so that I can like do the money side of things and then clean up before my next client. So
Yeah.
I don't have an hour spare that I could add an extra half an hour on for art or anything like that.
Do you have any goals, Rochelle?
No, I don't, but I should.
Is this the first time you've been on with your pink hair?
Yeah.
How awesome does Rochelle look? She left the Air Force and decided, like, stuff you all. I'm doing what I've wanted to do for years.
No, but since this is my first week full-time self-employed, I probably should have some goals. But I don't really, like, because I had a regular income and nails was like my side hustle, I never really thought about it. But I really should just sit down and have a think about it.
Starting out, it's very good to kind of just keep going to that next step forward and next step forward.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I recommend it.
Yeah.
Hi, Catherine. I definitely think that we always talk about things that
Oh, sorry, I'm stripping
we
off.
talk, because we haven't got many subjects from you guys that you want us to talk about. We go for things that we want to talk
Thanks,
about.
Catherine.
And so there are things that, like, yeah, this has made me think, because I would love to upsell. So the reason the subheading has come to set a goal was Penny had one of her first employees, and she realized that quite quickly her daddy oils, her bigger daddy oils, were flying off the shelves, whereas she was only being able to sell the small daddy oils. And in her head, she was just like, well, I only ever offer the small daddy oils because people don't need a huge stock and they want value for money. And what she said was that she realized that she was watching what this girl did and realized that she was upselling.
Yeah.
Which leads us on to our next little subheading. But basically, she was upselling somebody by giving them a benefit, not a fact. So she was saying, rather than, oh, do you want this? It's more money, but you get more. She was saying, would you like a 6-month supply, a 4-month supply for $30, or a 6-week supply for $10 or whatever it was, $15. And so she was giving them the benefit. And of course they were like, oh, well, I'd rather the value for money, because Penny had already done the groundwork and realized that daddy oil was actually really good for them. So yeah, that's something I found really interesting. We're giving our clients the benefit of the deal rather than a fact. Like, do you want this or this? And we're telling them why one is better. So we're giving them a benefit, not a fact, which I found really interesting. And she set herself a goal of getting $10 extra each appointment. So it wasn't a competition that she was having with the other girls in the salon. She just set herself a goal that she would upsell every single appointment $10 more than what they thought they were coming in for. I wish I had the balls. So that's what we're
Yeah, I'm terrible at upselling my own things. Like, working for Monaco, I can sell products. That's easy. But in my own salon, I am terrible at upselling what I do.
Yeah,
and it's just confidence.
It is,
Because
yeah.
you're just like, you need cuticle oil. This would not happen if you use cuticle oil.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, do you sell it? I'm like, yes, I do.
Yeah. And they're like, okay, I'll get one of them.
See,
And then me being me, I forget at the end of the appointment. And
I don't.
text
I
them
grab
and
it
I'm
straight
like,
off and I just put it on the desk
Yeah, I don't. I'm too stupid.
because it's like right next to me.
That's easy.
you're good. You're
See,
good
my
at that
retail's
stuff,
like
I buy
around the
stuff from
corner
you.
from me. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
And you guys know that I'm harsh with my clients. I'm
Yeah.
like, you need to get cuticle oil or you're not booking in.
I'm way too nice. I'm like the opposite of me to my clients. I'm actually nice to my
Yeah.
clients, which
no,
isn't
I'm
very often.
I'm
that
not nice to my
happens.
clients.
But I mean, that was one of her points in the video that I watched. Like, we shouldn't assume that a client doesn't want to spend more money. Like, I actually, when I go and get my hair done, and I think it's because I've put it out there that I want balayage or whatever it's called.
Balayage.
Yep.
Because I don't have much money to spend on my hair every few months. So I want balayage so that I can come back
In
less
6 months.
often.
Yeah.
So in their head, they're thinking, oh, she doesn't want to spend money. So they don't really upsell things to me. But whereas when I go there, I'm like, I only do this once every flipping, like, maybe a year. Like, I'm out for 3 hours and I've got the money to spend. So, like, what products do you want to sell me? And, like, I'm happy to, like, buy products. So that's one of Penny's points was don't assume that somebody doesn't want something. Like, the worst they can say is no.
Yeah, you definitely have to give them the options, and
Yeah.
it'll be up to them whether they want to splash out a bit or
Yeah,
a bit tighter
exactly.
money, so they'll only get the smaller one or whatever.
Yeah, like, just don't assume that they don't want to spend money. Ask the question. But then don't sell anyone anything that they don't need. So cuticle oil, everybody needs it. Everybody. Like, 100% of the problems that my clients tell me about, I'm like, you should just buy some cuticle oil.
Yeah.
That won't happen.
They're like, oh
But-
yeah, there's this really dry bit that just won't go away.
Yeah.
Use cuticle oil every day. It would just sort itself out instead of you nibbling at it because it's dry.
And then they always think that they've got something at home that will work, And that's where I falter.
I have
I'm
my
just like, okay, yeah,
$90
give it a go.
hand cream.
Yeah.
There's a $10 oil that will do a better job.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And
I'm like, oh, and if you want, so I use the dirty lotion.
Love
and they're
that
like,
stuff.
oh, I love the smell. I'm like, oh, I've got like retail bottles. And they're like, oh, how much is that? I'm like, $15. And they're like, okay, cool, I'll take one.
Yeah.
I've had people approach me when I was selling Jamboree. I really like Jamboree nail care products. And I wasn't actually really selling it. I didn't have it on display or anything, but I had lots of the Nourish bottles, which is their hand cream. And I used it on someone. And she like loved it. And then she was just like, oh, where'd you get this from? And I'm like, Jamboree. And she's just like, oh, do they do a bigger bottle than this? I'm like, yeah, I think so. And she's like, cool, I'll have one. I'll pick it up. Just put it in your letterbox when it comes and tell me how much I owe you. And I'm just like,
Okay.
that's like a $40 bottle. Oh my gosh. But like, yeah. Some clients are going to jump at you. Sometimes they're.
And those are the ones you want.
Yeah.
Like I've got I've got a package where you get 4 appointments and they get a free upgrade to deluxe for their 4th one.
Oh,
It's not
that's
actually
nice.
free, they pay for it. But you just sell it as if it's free.
Yeah.
And
I saw one of your answers to somebody. Yeah.
Yeah, and I get
Yeah.
heaps of people like, oh, can I just book in regularly? And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, you should get this package because you say like you get a free upgrade. And they're like, oh, cool, okay, I'll get that. And they're like, do you have lotion and oil? I'm like, yeah, I do. And they're like, cool, I'll have one of those too.
Yeah.
Like if you,
Because
just
people
talk about it, and then they'll be like, oh, do you sell that?
Yeah.
You're like,
I
yeah,
think you've got like being in the nail business, we have like a bit of a monopoly. People don't tend to get their nails done if they don't value luxury.
Yeah.
Like people don't need to get their nails done. People don't need to get their hair colored, but they need to get their hair cut.
Yeah.
But people don't really need to get their nails done. And so usually when they're in your salon, they're already wanting to treat themselves anyway.
And a lot of
Or they get it done for like a holiday or something. And so they're like,
Yeah.
yeah, I'll have art. And you're like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But another thing, like selling stuff that they actually need, is a trust thing with clients as well.
For sure.
Like if you're going to sell them something, like really upsell
Yes.
to stuff that they don't actually need, they're never going to buy anything from you
Yeah.
again because you've just sold them a whole heap of crap.
Exactly.
Excuse my language. And then, they're going to be like, every time you try and sell them something in the future, it's going to be something that's not actually necessary. So, yeah.
But like as a nail tip, what would you sell them that they don't need?
Yeah, I don't know. But if you were a beauty therapist or
True.
like in any other industry, like if you were a hairdresser, I don't know how many different shampoos and treatments and stuff that you can sell. But
that's why I think it's kind of important to be authentic with what you stock anyway.
yeah.
Like
definitely.
I don't.
You
I've
only
actually
stock what
found-
you believe
yeah,
is good
yeah.
and what works. Yeah.
I've actually found it really hard to decide what to sell in my salon. And it's only been since I've been using Dadi oil like really regularly that I've like been converted to the brand, because I didn't like it at first. I was just like, no, I have something that I like that soaks in faster and I think does a better job. And then I ran out of that and didn't want to pay full price for it because I wasn't
We're cheap.
like wholesale anymore. And so I started using my Dadi oil and I was like, hang on, this stuff's actually really good. And then I figured out a way I could sell them the cuticle oil, and then they've just come out with lip balms. And I am like the biggest lip balm user in
Me
the
too.
world. And well, okay,
You have to have like
Second.
5 going at a time, right?
joint first. Yeah, exactly. And so like they've come out with lip balms, and so I finally have a product that I'm excited about. And I just bought one of these, which is like the little hand creams, and I've been
Did you get
using
the
that.
pump one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've been using that at the end of each appointment. And now I'm just like, oh, well, now I need the retail ones of these. And so I think it's important that you take your time to find something that you really want
Don't
to
even
stock.
stock the mini ones because you just tell people they need that.
And the pump is just so much more convenient.
Yeah, the mini ones like
The only thing that I like
tiny.
about the mini one is that you can just chuck it in your handbag.
Yeah.
I do have a lot of clients that are like, I forget to do it, but while I'm out and about, like I want to do it then. So
Yeah.
they
Oh,
do
see,
buy
I
the
use
mini
lotion
versions
after I
then.
wash my hands every single
I mean,
time.
a lot of my clients have
So
a
I've
big
got
one
one in
and
my
a mini one.
Yeah,
So.
I've got one in my car, one in my handbag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I was at
I
work,
had
I've
one
got
lotion
cuticle
in my
oil.
car and it exploded when it was real hot.
Oh
Gross. What a gross
I was
mess.
sad more than like
no!
grossed out by it.
I like left mine on my lip balms in the car the other day, and it was so hot that it was like
liquid.
no, it went to liquid, but then like
solidified
Did it
overnight.
solidified sideways.
Yeah.
And so like I picked it out, and I was just like, my flipping daughter, my 3-year-old, like ruins all my flipping lip balm.
But no.
And then I realised, oh no, it's actually kind of a funny shape. I don't think she could have done this herself. She's not touching my daddy lip balm.
No, but you have kids to blame them on things.
Yeah, totally.
You should get a dog. My dog's eaten so much.
Oh yeah, you can
Wow.
totally blame it on a dog because kids grow up. Dogs never do.
Pretty much.
So that's why I think it's my chocolate does that.
Chocolate doesn't last long enough in my house to do that.
Same. My husband, like flip, you open it and it's gone.
Me too.
So I think it's important that we're authentic with the things that we're stocking anyway, and that we're not selling anyone anything that they don't need, because we love the product. And if it's something that you would use on yourself, then you're naturally going to be able to sell it better. So on to the next thing. This is something I'm really bad at, and I'm hoping that Toni and Rochelle have some advice for me.
You just ask.
A good way to upsell is asking for rebookings. That is upselling. It is saying to somebody, thank you, that's a $50 appointment. Would you like to commit to giving me $50 in 3 weeks again? Like, that's an
For me,
upsell.
it's so easy because with like, if it's a regular client, they know they usually have their day that they book in on in their special time after work or whatever. So they are just like, you've already got my appointment booked for next time, eh? And I'll be like, yeah, sweet, off we go.
I wish.
But if it's a new client, a lot of the time during the appointment, we've talked about maintenance, we've talked about when they need to come back and all that. So at the end, it's just like a conclusion to the conversation that we've already had during the appointment. Because especially in the consultation, like one of my first questions is, how do you want to maintain this?
Yeah.
Are you going to come back, or are you going to be that person that sits at home and picks at their nails? Like, you need to have that conversation earlier to build into it.
And then comes back in 4 weeks and says, oh, they lasted really well, but then they all fell off, and now my nails are damaged. And it's just like, well, do I come every 4 weeks? And it definitely happens between that 2 and 4 week period, which is why we're asking them to rebook.
Well, nails aren't supposed to last more than 2 weeks.
Yeah. I also have an email. So it sends out an email 10 days after their appointment to say, hey, you're due a booking.
I've decided not to do that because do you use Timely?
Yeah.
So I use Schedule, which is free. So I don't want to be sending them a reminder if they've already got an appointment, and there's no way to only send emails to ones that haven't made an appointment, because also I don't want to be spamming, and I don't want to do it manually to people because I'm a lazy person who likes automation. So
I've tried. I do have people that rebook girls' nights, but they don't do it as regular maintenance. So it happens sort of like every 6 weeks, which is fine because they're fun nights.
And if there's someone who you know can't afford it or can't come back to you or is just too busy, whatever, that's when you would upsell them like a removal pack or something with extremely clear instructions.
I do that, and they do tend to go for removal packs.
Like, that's a last resort, but it means that you know that they're taking them off.
I have free removal, and I stress during my appointments if they come back to have it removed, I can promise them that their nails won't be damaged.
Yeah.
And so I have ladies that get done for special occasion. They just come back, they pop in 20 minutes and it's done, and they're like, wow, this is way better than wow, I remove it. I'm like,
yeah. So I do free removal like when they come in for the next appointment, like reapplication.
Yeah.
But if they're just doing a removal, they have to pay for that.
Oh, no.
Because I can't justify giving them half an hour of my time for nothing. Because you then have to buff it all up and shape and cuticles. It's not just a remove and go. Like, you've got to do all that prep stuff as well, which
I don't buff to a high shine when I remove, though. I just remove and buff.
I can't justify buffing and just leaving them like plain. They need to still look pretty into the best, because that's how I want them to leave my salon.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
I just don't
still got amazing nails. I
just don't like rubbing cuticle oil into buffed 180 grit nails. I'm like, oh,
grainy.
It's a weird
You want
feeling.
that really nice, smooth, squeaky clean.
Well, but it's still smooth
finish.
at 180, and
Isn't
next
weird?
day it's smooth. next day
And it does
looks
look
nice.
just natural, like
Yeah.
if they hadn't had anything done. But I
If they
love
want
the
a
shine.
manicure, they pay for it.
Yeah. But
And I'm like, you can have a removal for free, but it's $40 for a manicure. And
Yeah.
they're like, oh, okay, I'll get that.
yeah. See, for me, it's $30 for a removal.
But then you
And it's all good.
you write that into your prices, right? Like you write a small fee, just assuming that everybody's going to get a removal, and so then it covers it.
Yeah. Because I get people that don't.
Which is a good way to upsell because it means that you're charging more for your appointments
Yeah.
than you usually would, but your clients feel like they're getting all this free stuff.
Yeah.
But it's not
Value,
free. Like you were saying with your appointments, like
They've paid for the removal.
yeah, they've paid
just
up
paid for
front
it,
for
yeah.
these four.
Yeah.
They've paid up front for these four appointments, and then on their fourth appointment they get a luxury upgrade. But you have split that luxury upgrade over the
Across
four
four.
appointments, so they're paying for it, but they feel like on their fourth they get a treat,
Yeah.
which I don't think is tricking them. I think it's a way of giving somebody a package deal and committing them to having a treat. Like
Yeah.
that's why
And then they
everybody
get
does.
hooked and they're like, and I'm like, do you want to rebook for the package? And they're like, yeah. Like, yes, you do.
Yeah, and there's only like one thing you've got to justify to your husband. There's one package, not 4 nail appointments.
Exactly. It's only once every, 8 weeks.
Yeah.
That sounds good to your husband rather than, oh yeah, it's every 2 weeks. I need to go spend $55.
I need to.
My clients are the type that don't care what their partners say.
Oh, yeah,
They're
mine
just
are
like,
either.
yeah,
They don't
you're
really
welcome.
But
Here's my $100 set of gel polish.
yeah.
Okay, so we've talked about asking for rebookings. The next we're going to talk about is giving.
We kind of talked about that.
Yeah, we did. We're talking about giving a benefit before a fact, so we might just sort of skim over it. So when we're talking about giving a benefit before a fact, we're talking about why would you sell them the larger cuticle oil? Because the benefit is it's value for money.
Yeah.
Why would you upsell them a luxury treatment? Because the benefit is your nails will feel amazing. You'll feel like
And your hands, your skin.
yeah, it's a luxury treatment for you.
Complete.
You've relaxed. It's actually a treatment.
And
like
the
it's not
benefit
just a
can
relax.
Really
it's a
change
treatment.
depending on what the client needs. Like, do they just need to chill out and relax? Do they need that really
Yeah.
hydrating treatment? Like, what do they need from that? So that, like, obviously would change between each client rather
Yeah.
than being like, this is what it is. You'd be like, it's relaxing. You can sleep while I do it. And I had a client fall asleep on me today. It was
Doing
great.
nails.
Yeah, doing fingers as well. I thought she was twitching a little bit, but she's a little bit of a twitchy client to start with. But then, like, I was like, I'll just swap hands because she wasn't, like, moving when I had finished the hand. And I looked up and she was just like, you dropped in her
That's
chest.
so
and I was
cute.
like, oh, excuse me.
Can I have your other hand,
Yeah,
please?
just like slowly putting one hand down in front of the lap and like taking the other one out and just like, oh, I'm so sorry.
That's awesome. She must be
Wakes up
exhausted.
as you're like
Oh, she is
lifting her
awful.
arm
Oh,
into the lap.
Okay, yeah, I can understand why she fell asleep.
Monday
then.
midday is her time to come and chill with me.
Well, one of the students today had a really cool model. I've seen her a few times. She must be like a really awesome friend. And she just comes in and watches movies on her phone. And she just like puts her head down, puts her phone on her lap and watches movies and gives her their hands.
I
I'm
love
like,
it.
that's so cool. Okay, so that's kind of hard to elaborate on because we did already. But we just want to be making sure that we're talking to our clients about the benefit rather than saying, do you want to buy this? Like, do you want to buy this? It costs this much? Or rather, well, yeah. Instead of,
And you can apply that to anything, like any service you do. Like, because some of us don't just do nails. So for me, I do tans. So I'm like, do you want this extender because you're going away on holiday and this is going to extend your tan for another 10 days? And they're like, oh yeah, cool. Or eyelashes, do you want this wash because you need to wash your lashes? Like, when you go to a hair appointment, yeah. When you go to a hair appointment, do you want this treatment or this conditioner or this whatever because X, Y, Z? Yeah, definitely.
one thing that I have found helps is having your product on show.
and using it during, like, you can't sell Darty oil if that's not the cuticle oil that you use at the end of the appointment. You need to make sure that they can see how it works so that they can trust the product before they go and buy it as well.
Yeah, totally. Like, don't use a product that you can't sell and then sell. Like there are professional only products, and then I wouldn't then go and sell those products, but the non-professional brand, so they could have them. I'm like, no, you have to come to me to get that. But there's something that you can buy. So like, what are we actually going to sell?
Well, that's like at the hair salon. You don't go and buy a box color off them so that you can do touch-ups between appointments. You buy the shampoos and the nourishing treatments and stuff to maintain and look after yourself. So it's the same with beauty and nails. Like, you buy the things to help maintain in between rather than redoing it yourself in between appointments.
Yeah, exactly. We don't want them doing that. No.
I had a client do that once. She was like, why does my gel polish only last 2 days, but yours lasts 2 weeks? I'm not even going to justify that with a response. Like,
because I've trained.
Yeah. There's a reason that you can buy gel polish for $30 or whatever at Farmers.
Yes. And how long did you spend on preparing that nail?
Did you buff it? Did you actually
clean it? Do you know how to cap a nail?
Yeah. Did you touch the skin?
How much did your lamp cost?
Okay, moving on. We can go on like this for ages.
So the last thing I wanted to talk about is going in with confidence.
I know 90% of us lack confidence.
Yeah.
Me.
Not this So, Rochelle, tell us, what is your key to confidence?
Thinking, I need to pay my bills next week.
That's so good.
Like, if they've got trouble nails and we've already assessed that they're going to come in, they need cuticle oil. Everyone needs cuticle oil. Actually, everyone needs cuticle oil. It's not something that's just going to be like, oh, you could use this and this might help. Like, no, this will help your nails. It is $15.
Yeah.
Like, you need to use it, and you need to use it 3 times a day for the first 3 days, and then daily after that. It's just I don't think. Yeah.
And
I don't want to sound like I'm being a jerk. And have
people turned you down?
No, I've never.
Nobody.
Anybody turned me down.
Not
because I talk about it like throughout the whole appointment, and I'm like, because I do my consultation while we're talking, and I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Do you often get these rough spots? I can see that your cuticles are quite thick. Like, did you know that if you use cuticle oil daily, all these problems will disappear? Or they've got chipping nail polish, or their nail polish, like their nails are brittle. And I just go on and on about the benefits of cuticle oil. And by the end of the appointment, because they spent 30 minutes in the seat with me, they're like, oh my gosh, give me the cuticle oil so I can go home. Like,
but do you ask, do you say at the end, so do you want me to grab you some cuticle oil?
I just say, so do you want cuticle oil to take home with you? And they're like, yeah.
See, I would add or not. Would you like some cuticle oil to take home with you or not? No. So I just need to take away those cuticle oil with you? Because it's way harder for people to go, no.
Yeah. Well,
so you just say, would you like some cuticle oil to take home? It's $15.
But see, that's the thing that I hate, is I hate going home from an appointment, buying something that I felt pressured into buying.
But they could say no.
Yeah, but sometimes I can't say no.
Yeah. I'm the same as Jessie. Sometimes I feel like I can't say no to people.
And then at the end I'm like, no, I don't want to spend that money.
But at the same time, as a business owner, you need to find that fine line between upselling and making sure that they have what they need versus,
but you've already
like we talked about before, do they need it or do they not need it?
Like, they actually need it. If they don't, I don't really mention it. And I'm like, I've got, or they'll be like, oh, this smells good. I'm like, yeah, it's cuticle oil. I actually sell at retail if you would like some. And then they're like, do you sell the lotion too? And I'm like, yeah. And they're like,
yeah, usually the lotion I find gets people with the smell more than the cuticle oil. But yeah, so that's really interesting because so Toni was saying,
but you guys are the clients that I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna get you. Like,
and
that sounds bad, but they would use it and they still come back.
Yeah, but like if they come back, then obviously they didn't feel pressured into it. Like, I've been.
But then they use it and it actually works.
Yeah.
So that's the key to confidence, is selling them something that they need anyway.
Yeah,
definitely.
And being authentic with the brands that you offer, and you're going to be confident about a brand that you're confident about.
Yeah.
Like if you're confident in its abilities, you're going to be able to be confident in selling it to them.
Yeah, definitely.
I feel like my lip balms are going to like fly out the door.
Mine are.
but
I've
my
already
cuticle
stolen 3 for my own use. So I've only got like 9 left to sell to clients.
We got an order last week and there weren't any, and Toni was like, "Wah!"
I've been waiting for them for so long.
And then this morning when I got it, and there was a box on the step and I could see who it was from, and I was just like,
I had a message that's like, "Toni, wake up!" And I was like, "Yeah."
Yeah.
It was really exciting.
See, I wouldn't be able to sell a lip balm.
I've been talking about it to my clients for like 2 months. Like ever since Australia announced it, that it was coming, I've been like, oh my gosh, it's coming. You guys have to try this. It's going to be amazing. You guys love the oil. You love the lotion. You're going to love the lip balm. And so everyone's really excited for it now. Or they pretend to be just to keep me happy.
No, but if you're excited about something, then of course there will be. It's like when I did my e-file course, I was stoked because I hated iron filing the thing because my hands with the dermatitis, I just couldn't handle the wrapping, and I was using like free gloves, and it wasn't a good time, and my clients were feeling bad for me, and it was just not fun. And so when I did my eval course and I like hung up my certificate, they came in and they're like, "Oh, how was eval course?" They all remembered that I had it on like the 1st of April, and I was like, "It's amazing, watch this." And I like used it on them, and they're like, "This is really cool." And they knew they were fine to give me their hands, even though it's a drill and it's a power tool. They were absolutely fine because they trusted me.
Behind you.
Yeah, and I'm like, "Look at my cool certificate." Like they'd come in and would be the first one. I'm like, "What's different?" And they're like, "Well, you're here." And I'm like, "No, but I'm not here."
Oh yes,
and they were like, "Oh, cool, you've got a new certificate." I'm like, "Yeah, I do." And look, I got a new AVAR too. So when you're excited about stuff, that's why your clients are excited, because you're excited about this lip balm, whereas I'm like, lip balm. I'll lose it, and then But if you're enthusiastic about your products, or you're like, "Oh my gosh, I just got this new color and it is amazing," and they might hate green, but you're so excited about this green nail polish,
totally
they're
go
like, "Oh, okay, cool, I'll give it a go."
I've done that before, and then they come back 2 weeks later and they're like, "It wasn't bad, but it wasn't me."
Yeah.
See, I always get excited about blues, and then I put blues on my nails, and I like them for like 12 hours, and I'm like,
I love blue.
Yeah.
I always alternate between blue and pink on my nails.
Yeah.
And I love.
I love bright colours, but I think that's purely because I've had to wear neutral for my hair so long.
But then people are going to love you for making them try something new.
Yeah.
But something you said about certificates, I think that's a good key to upselling, is upskilling.
Yeah.
Like you upskill, and so you have new services to add, and so then you can add on those services and be like
IBX. IBX is
a
a perfect one because you get the free training when you buy IBX from Monaco, right?
Yeah.
It's not hard. It's easy. You can learn it in like an hour.
Yeah.
And then you do it, and but
it's a professional only product, so not everybody's doing it.
But yeah, exactly. And you can be like, "This is the only thing that is going to make your nails stronger. It is the only thing." And they're like, "Oh, but I use Sally Hansen's." I'm like, "No."
Oh my goodness. Don't even get me started on
that. And then I explain the whole that makes your nails hard by being hard, blah, blah, blah.
I've seen nail technicians recently like, "Oh, we just got in a new stock of this stuff. You paint it on and your nails stay strong." I'm like,
if you could just do a gel polish, because that's even harder than a straight.
Exactly. So that's how I kind of upsell as well. I'm like, your first appointment's $15, but your following appointments are in $5.
See, but that's the thing. IBX is so affordable.
Yeah, that's so funny. All my IBX are $15 no matter what they get.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, then that's like, if that works for you, then that's
was just a lot of my clients were getting a bit confused about the pricing of different layers, because they're like, "Why do you do 2 layers this time, but only 1 layer this time?" And like,
I know somebody who does $15 for the first appointment, and then it's just $10 from then on.
I think, I just did mine 5, and I just do 1 or 2.
I end up talking so long, so that it's just $15.
That's fair, but like it works. It's different for everyone. But
exactly.
You charge for your removal as well. Like everyone is different. don't ever
you don't have to do what everyone else is doing.
Yeah.
Do
don't
what works for
ever
you.
be like, oh, Toni is doing this, so I need to change my pricing. Like, no.
Well, I'm going to use this as a moment to upsell Penny's how to set your prices, because this is how you work out all these things. Like, okay, Toni's charging $15 for IBX, whereas Rochelle's doing $5. Is that what you just said?
$5 for every follow-up.
Yeah, and so, but everybody's worked that into their prices differently, because certain people charge for removals and certain people don't charge for removals. And so you can assess what your clients are doing.
Yeah, it all really depends on what your clients get. Like,
and then doing a blanket that's going to benefit all of your clients,
including yourself as well as your.
That's the big thing. Look after number one first.
Like, why are you working?
Yeah.
Why are you charging people to do nails? To make money.
Like, and it might just be a hobby, but why would you waste money on it? Yeah. Like, nails is a very expensive hobby to do. Yeah. So I highly recommend charging what it's worth.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can buy all the online courses at monacopro.co.nz if you are interested.
Really good course. Like, I tell all the students to get it.
It's flipping awesome. I believe it's, I don't want to quote the price in case I'm wrong, $79.
Don't ask me. I don't know.
I think it's $75. It's around that price.
And you'll like make your money back like in the first hour you watch it, because you'll realize how much stuff you're not charging
and
for.
I like how all the videos are only like 10-minute little snippets.
There's also a really good part in there about nail art, because I always get real confused about how to do nail art, and it's actually got like a specific little spreadsheet that Penny's done all the hard work for you, and it's like product cost and time, and you match them up, and it tells you how much to charge.
So many spreadsheets, and you just put like the numbers in, and it just goes poof.
Yeah. Basically. Because Penny's done everything for us, and I love that because I'm lazy.
And it goes poof, and then you're like, holy heck, I'm the shiznit, and I should be charging so much more.
Yeah.
Like, I've got so much to offer.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll end on that note. So thank you for joining us today. We would love it if you guys, before you disappeared, go and like our page or follow the podcast so that you don't miss the next episode. You have been listening to me, Jessie, from Shine Now Design NZ, same on Instagram and Facebook. Guys, I'm getting my cabin soon.
Oh! You'll get your cabin, you'll get your caravan, it'll all be like amazing.
Throwing myself in, we're doing this. The lip balms are here.
Life is complete.
Lip balms are here. I'm ready to go. Okay. You have been listening to Rochelle from Aphrodite.iris. Same on Instagram and Facebook also. She is renovating her cabin. Caravan.
Same stuff. It's just on wheels.
But it's like retro.
Yeah.
It's basically like my dream. It's what I'm going to be doing when I have the money to buy a cabin rather than rent one. And you have been listening to Toni from TLC.nailsNZ.
Yay.
Same on Instagram and Facebook.
Yeah.
And she has some really cool stories too. I really enjoy watching the stories.
Of what?
All your little time-lapse Tuesdays. I love time-lapse.
Tomorrow at about, whenever I wake up, probably about 7:30, 8ish, there'll be another time-lapse video going up on both Facebook and Instagram.
They're so satisfying. Yeah. So satisfying.
I'm glad you like them.
All right. Well, thanks, guys.
I'd be like, whoa.
Yeah, I'd be nervous because I'm like, there's a camera.
Like this.
But I can only do videos that I can keep to about a minute, because that's all all Instagram allows me to do without uploading it to Instagram TV. So it's like, it's kind of basic design.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, they're
Anyways.
fun. I wish I had clients that would do fun designs like that.
You don't
upsell. No, I don't. But you do like stamping and stuff. I can't do the.
We should just have a play day one day.
Yeah. I just wanted to apologise for my puffy cheeks today. I did have surgery on my
wisdom
teeth. So if you are watching live, that is why I look like a gentleman.
I'm pretty sure nobody would notice, but now they're going to go back and be like, oh, yeah.
I like to point out the faults rather than wonder if people are sitting there. All right. Thanks for joining us, girls. We'll see you next week live at 5 p.m. on facebook.com/Monaco Nail Academy. Next week, we will be talking about how to handle price objections. I'm really excited about that.
Like Penny's going to have a lot to say on that.
Yeah.
So remember to leave in the comments below or on our Facebook Live posting any subjects that you want us to talk about. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you again next week.
Bye, guys.
Bye.